don't know whether you've been watching television last night or this morning, but new footage was leaked that apparently shows Jesse Jackson using the N-word. Fox News says the tape was leaked. They didn't have anything to do with it. So I ask you.
Is any of this a surprise?
Well, you know what I think the hypocrisy is coming out is because Jesse was the main proponent of saying, you know, he didn't want the rappers using it and take it out. And I thought, and we're talking about, I thought it would have been a funeral or something where they had buried. I don't think Jesse came to the funeral where they buried the N-word.
Did that come after? It was Michael Richards went after his rage using the N-word. Yeah. He called for a boycott of all the Seinfeld DVDs and episodes and told people to take it off their, you know, DVR and repeat. No, it was also Jesse was part of that as well.
Yeah, but he wasn't talking about using the word privately. He was talking about using it publicly.
Did you ever see Crash? Did you guys see Crash, the movie?
Yeah. No.
So I don't think there's an ounce of difference, and sometimes I think it's almost worse to use it privately than publicly.
No, that's not true.
No, I'm saying, are they equally as bad if I say it to someone in the privacy of my household? That's still bad. It's not a word that should be used. I think don't
tell me I can't use that word. Because I use it.
Well, then, how is it? So you're telling me I can't use it?
It's not the same as when I use it. It's
That's
because
what I want to ask you.
Are you when you're funny or when you're not funny or all the time?
There's no difference when I'm being funny.
I don't understand.
Can I just ask the question?
I would never use it to begin with, but yes.
Then why are you arguing?
Okay.
I'm saying, why is it
Can I
okay
just
for
ask,
anyone to
Elizabeth,
say it?
could I just ask the question? Is it, and what you're saying, is it okay for black comics primarily, like yourself, when you do an act and so forth, is it okay then to use it as it is still done, and not okay for white people? Is that the case?
Yeah, I have no problem with them using it. It's something that means something way different to me than it does to you. I grew up with my family using it. For me, I can use it as a term of endearment.
But if I used it?
I don't want to hear it come out of your mouth.
I just think, how do you, okay, so wait a minute. Let's think about this. Here's how I think things can be simplified sometimes. How do you teach children, okay? We should be acting. We're trying to teach our kids certain things in this world, no? So then, are we acting out on what we're actually preaching them? Am I supposed to tell Grace, okay, here are some words you can use, here are some words you cannot, and then, but your friend over there
simplify it for you?
can use it
the
because
little kid is not going to walk up to Grace and say, it's not going to happen. So, but wait. But I understand your example. I understand your example, but Elizabeth, as I said at the beginning when we first talked about this word, this is a word that has meaning when you give it meaning. I've never met, I have never gone to, I don't know any. There are about. You can try it, just like you can talk about. Listen to me. Just like you can talk about comical Italian people if you were a comic.
I'm half Italian.
And yeah, so you could say all kinds of stuff. You could say the stuff that your mom and dad would say in the privacy of their home and not outside. That's just the way that it works.
And what about teaching? What about teaching Grace with different things about? There are some things that people are sensitive to. There are some things that we can't say because people are sensitive to it.
Yes.
Kids go and say, "Why does that person have a hump in their back?" And it's you know what, that might hurt their feelings.
Right.
So why not explain it in that way?
Look, I'm not saying I don't know how to explain to my daughter how to talk about words. I grew up in a household where we didn't say, I'm half Polish and half Italian.
Right.
If somebody said to me, you're a dumb Polak, it offended me. I would never make fun of myself saying, you're that word.
No, you'd say,
this.
Right.
I never would go into my own heritage and use a phrase that is used against me in the privacy of my own home because I think it perpetuates stereotypes and hate.
You have to understand word that has followed us around, and basically what we did is we took it out of the hands of the people who were using it and put it into our hands, and we use it the way we want to use it, and that's what it is.
It's hard when it sneaks into pop culture. Then it's hard.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Whoopi,
I'm just trying to get an answer.
I just gave you one.
You're not listening. You're just talking. Everybody's giving. She is saying it's okay in her culture, but it is difficult as a white mother to explain to a child, you know, that Jeffrey can use it, but that Grace can't.
It's not difficult for me. That was an example in terms of general philosophy. I have no problem explaining things to Grace about that. My thing is that we don't live in different worlds. We live in the same world.
We do live in different worlds. I'm sorry.
Oh, you know what?
I'm sorry. It's the way it is, Elizabeth. This is the way it is.
When it's
this is how I grew up. My mother could not go and vote in the United States of America, the place of her birth.
Don't we
go
want
every
it to
wait,
change?
yes, we would like to, but you don't understand.
I'm not trying to take that away from you.
I want you to, but what I need you to understand is the frustration that goes along with when you say we live in the same world. It isn't balanced, and we would like it to be, but you have to understand, you have to listen to the fact that we're telling you there are issues, there are huge problems that still affect us, and you've got to know this if you want to know us.
I understand that. I'm not
but it
trying
didn't sound like it.
I am not trying to take that away from you. When we are living in this world, and we are living in a world where there is in the pop culture, when that world is then used, when there are. This is upsetting to me because.
Okay, just take a breath and let someone else talk.
But this is a conversation that is hard, and we're going to have it here, and we have it here well because we love each other.
Yes.
When we live in a world where pop culture then uses that term, and we're trying to get to a place where we feel like we're in the same place, when we feel like we're in the same world, how are we supposed to then move forward if we keep using terms that bring back that pain?
I can tell you. Here's how we do it. You listen and say, okay, this is how we're using this word, and this is why we do it. You have to say, well, you know what? I understand that, but let's find a new way to move forward. You must acknowledge the understanding of what it is and why it is
But not
in
all
order
people
to
take
go.
the time to have the conversation.
No, but we are.
Okay, one second.